Night settles differently over the Kabini forest. In most places, darkness arrives softly, drifting down between the trees like a gentle veil. But here, it falls with weight, swallowing sound, light, and certainty. The forest seems to hold its breath as the last traces of dusk retreat behind the canopy. Moonlight, fractured by tangled branches, touches the forest floor in broken shards, never lingering long enough to betray what moves in the shadows. Kabini at night is a world without witnesses, a realm where silence becomes a living force and every gust of wind carries a warning. The air is damp and heavy, thick with the scent of wet earth and the faint sweetness of wild figs. Somewhere in the upper layers of the canopy, a troop of langurs goes quiet earlier than usual, sensing something that does not belong to the ordinary rhythm of the night. The dry crack of a twig from far within the underbrush dies almost instantly, the forest reclaiming its stillness. Only a thin chorus of crickets maintains its fragile pulse, like the faint beat of a hidden heart. On nights like this, predators do not need speed. They need patience. They wait for darkness to reach its deepest point, when shapes dissolve, when outlines blur, when even the eyes of prey lose their confidence. It is within this dense, impenetrable hour that the forest reveals its most elusive inhabitant, a creature whispered about more often than seen, and never truly understood. Some call it the silent hunter, others the shadow that walks. To researchers, it is simply a melanistic leopard, a rare genetic variation that turns the coat of the ordinary leopard into a seamless tapestry of black. But to those who live near these forests, the presence of this animal carries a weight far beyond sight. They speak of it the way one speaks of a myth, carefully, respectfully, as if the forest itself is listening. Tonight, Kabini feels unsettled. The air trembles with a quiet tension, a subtle shift that signals the beginning of a story rarely given the chance to unfold. Something moves in the darkness, measured, silent, deliberate, a presence that does not disturb the silence but becomes part of it. Long before its shape is seen, the forest knows it has arrived. Part 2. Introducing the Night Phantom. He emerges not with noise, but with absence and erasure of light, a soft distortion in the fabric of the forest. At first, there is nothing to see except the suggestion of movement, a deeper shade of black shifting against the darkness itself. Then the moon slips momentarily through the canopy, revealing what few human eyes have ever witnessed clearly: the silhouette of a black leopard, a creature forged from shadow and instinct, moving with an elegance that borders on the unreal. His coat, a seamless veil of charcoal and ink, absorbs moonlight rather than reflecting it. Yet beneath this darkness lies the faintest pattern of rosettes, ghost markings visible only when the light strikes at a precise angle, reminders that he is still Pantheropardus at his core. But everything else about him feels different. His muscles ripple in deliberate waves beneath the dark fur, each step measured, silent, and assured. He walks as if the forest belongs to him, as if every branch and root bends subtly to accommodate his passage. His eyes are the only bright element in this living silhouette. When they catch the moonlight, they glow with a pale, piercing radiance, not unlike embers hidden within a dying fire. Those eyes have tracked prey across ravines, followed faint trails through nights so dense that even nocturnal birds lost their bearings. They have seen the rise and fall of territories, the shift of rival predators, and the slow encroachment of human presence along the forest's edges. They are eyes carved from experience rather than curiosity. To understand him is to understand the rare genetic phenomenon known as melanism. It does not simply darken his coat, it changes the entire geometry of his existence. In the blackness of Kabini's nights, this adaptation turns him into a ghost among the leaves, granting him an unmatched advantage over prey whose eyes cannot distinguish him from the shadows. Yet the same absence of color brings its own burdens. In daylight, he overheats faster than his golden kin. Under direct sun, he becomes more visible, more vulnerable. The evolutionary gift that crowns him king of the night turns him into a marked creature by day. Though he lives among other leopards, his life is not shared with them. Predators such as him wander alone. They claim space not with presence, but with the memory of tracks. the faint scent on a low branch, the scratch marks etched deep into bark. Each sign becomes a quiet declaration of authority, a warning that this territory answers to the night. In Kabini, he is not just another predator. He is a presence felt long before he is seen. Rangers have spent years tracking him, catching only fragments blurred motion on a thermal camera, a shadow slipping across a dirt road, the outline of fresh prints at dawn. For the people who live near the forest, he exists in legend as much as in reality. They call him by a name that speaks to both fear and reverence: the Night Phantom. Part 3. First Conflict. The approach of danger. The Night Phantom pauses at the edge of a clearing, where the undergrowth thins into an open patch of moonlit soil. He lowers his body, muscles tightening into a silent coil. Something in the air has changed. It is not the scent of prey, nor the whisper of wind through the bamboo thickets. It is a different note, sharp, restless, dissonant, a presence that does not belong to the delicate rhythm of the forest night. Beyond the clearing, a faint rustle breaks the stillness. It is followed by the muffled scrape of claws against dry leaves. Hyenas. Not the large clans of the open savanna, but the smaller, scattered groups that patrol the forest periphery. They are opportunists, drawn toward the promise of weakness or unattended kills. Their sense of smell is sharp, their persistence relentless, and tonight their movements carry an urgency that signals hunger. The phantom remains motionless. Motion invites danger. Stillness becomes armor. His pupils expand, absorbing every fragment of light, mapping the positions of the intruders without revealing his own. He listens to the irregular rhythm of their footsteps, 3 individuals, perhaps 4, weaving through the shadows beyond the clearing. They chatter occasionally, a low, uneasy chorus that drips with agitation. They are searching for something, or someone. The hyenas have not detected him, not yet, but they have picked up something else. The faint scent of a kill made earlier in the evening, dragged up into the fork of a tall ironwood tree. The phantom's kill, a young chital deer taken in a single decisive strike. The hyenas circle beneath the tree now, frustrated by the scent they cannot reach. Their frustration is dangerous. Hyenas denied food can become reckless, bold enough to challenge even a leopard. Hidden within his cloak of darkness, the phantom evaluates the terrain. The clearing is too exposed. The moon is too bright. One wrong move could turn him from ghost to target. He senses the shift in the hyena's behavior, a tightening of their formation, a change in their breathing. They no longer search aimlessly. They have caught a trace of something fresher. Him, the first hyena, steps into the clearing, its head low, nostrils flaring as it tests the air. Another follows, eyes scanning the shadows. The phantom's heartbeat does not quicken. His kind survives by resisting panic, but his muscles align, ready for movement, calculating distance and timing. The forest holds its breath with him. This is not a battle he seeks. It is one he must avoid. But in Kabini, avoidance is never simple. The night is shifting, pressure building, and the phantom knows the moment of action is coming. Part 4. First Climax. The hunt in the dark. The hyenas drift deeper into the clearing, spreading out in a loose arc as they probe the air for certainty. Their steps are cautious but insistent, pushed forward not by confidence but by hunger. Each movement inches them closer to the edge of the phantom's concealment. He remains a breath above absolute stillness. But beneath that stillness lies coiled power, honed by years of surviving nights exactly like this one. Yet this is not the moment for confrontation. Predators survive not by showing strength, but by knowing when strength becomes pointless. The phantom shifts his weight soundlessly, slipping backward into a denser wall of brush just as the leading hyena lifts its head and narrows its gaze. For a heartbeat, predator and predator face the same darkness, one seeking, the other dissolving. Then the phantom fades fully from sight. He moves not in retreat, but toward opportunity. Beyond the clearing, the forest floor dips into a shallow ravine where moonlight struggles to penetrate the tangled canopy. Here, shadows cling more tightly to the earth. Here, the phantom becomes whole. His breathing steadies. His senses, sharpened by the tension moments earlier, widen to absorb the subtle tremors of the night. The hyenas are behind him now, distracted, confused, circling the empty air where his scent once lingered. They will not find him again. But something else catches his attention. A faint rustle. A single misplaced footstep against the crisp layer of dry leaves. It is soft, almost apologetic, but unmistakably out of rhythm with the forest. The phantom angles his head, nostrils flaring ever so slightly. It is prey, a young sambar deer, thin and cautious, drawn toward the ravine by the promise of water pooled beneath the rocks from the previous night's dew. Vulnerable, alone, unaware of the danger that moves like liquid ebony through the undergrowth above. Darkness favors the phantom, but precision defines him. He circles silently along the upper edge of the ravine, each step calculated to avoid loose stones that might betray his approach. The sambar lowers its head to drink, ears flicking occasionally, but hearing nothing beyond the soft murmur of its own breath. It does not realize that the forest has gone quiet around it, that the air has settled into unnatural stillness. The phantom lowers his body, muscles rippling beneath the obsidian coat. His tail stills, his breath grows thin, controlled. The distance between him and his prey narrows in slow, inevitable increments. He waits not for the perfect moment, but for the perfect alignment. The shift of moonlight, the angle of the wind, the position of the deer's legs. Then the moment comes. He launches from the shadows like a blade of night, silent until the final instant. The deer jerks upward, startled by movement it never saw. But it is already too late. The phantom's forelimbs clamp around its shoulders, jaws striking the neck with mechanical precision. No growl, no roar, only the heavy thud of impact and the desperate thrashing of prey overwhelmed by speed it cannot comprehend. Within seconds, the forest is still again. The phantom withdraws, standing over the fallen deer as the last tremors fade from its body. He listens for the hyenas, for any echo of their pursuit. Nothing. They are distant now, fooled by the territory he abandoned. Tonight, the hunt belongs to him alone. Par 5, the quiet hours of life. For predators shaped by darkness, victory does not end with the fall of prey. It is only the beginning of another ritual, one guided by caution as much as hunger. The phantom stands motionless for several long moments, listening to the forest around him. Successful hunts echo in ways that raw sound never reveals. The sudden hush of insects, the faint alarm calls fading through the canopy, the shift in the wind as the forest adjusts to the presence of death. Only when he is certain no rival predator is drawing near does he begin the deliberate work of securing what is now his. He drags the sambar's body toward a tree he has used before, an ironwood with thick, low branches capable of supporting the weight of both hunter and meal. This behavior, shared by leopards across continents, is not born of instinct alone. It is shaped by necessity. Hyenas steal kills from the ground. Dholes hunt in relentless packs. Even other leopards will challenge for food if they sense vulnerability. Elevation grants safety. Elevation buys time. In a place where every calorie matters, time is the true treasure. His ascent is silent despite the burden he carries. Muscles coil and release in flawless sequence as he climbs, hauling the carcass upward with astonishing ease. Once settled in the cradling limbs of the tree, he positions the deer across a thick branch, wedging it securely between knots of bark. The forest below disappears into darkness. Up here, the phantom becomes both king and ghost, untouchable in his fortress of leaves and shadows. Only then does he begin to eat. The meal is purposeful, not frantic. He eats enough to satisfy the immediate demands of his body, but leaves the rest untouched. He knows the forest will not grant him many peaceful hours. But for now, the night remains his ally. When he finishes, he settles against the branch, not sleeping fully, but resting in the alert half-consciousness of predators, who must remain ready even in moments of stillness. If this phantom is a male, solitude is his companion, a lifelong condition written into his blood. But if he is a female, if she carries the weight of motherhood, the night becomes far more complex. The rituals of the hunt must coexist with the vigilance of protection. A mother leopard leaves her cubs hidden in dense thickets, tucked away in crevices or hollow logs, returning between hunts to nurse them. Her every decision weighs the needs of her offspring against the dangers that thread through the forest. Cubs born to a melanistic mother face an even more precarious beginning. Their coats vary, some dark, some golden, but their vulnerability is the same. They rely entirely on silence, immobility, and the thin barrier between concealment and discovery. Even the faintest cry can invite disaster. Hyenas have been known to locate dens by sound alone. Pythons move through undergrowth without warning. Rival males patrol territories with little tolerance for young that are not their own. Yet cubs also draw out the gentlest side of the phantom. She will return to them with blood still drying on her whiskers, licking their heads with slow, deliberate strokes that silence their fear. She guides them with nudges of her muzzle, teaching them how to move low, how to disappear, how to read the language of the forest, long before they can understand its full danger. These lessons are not taught through words, but through rhythm. Walk when she walks, freeze when she freezes, breathe when she breathes. In these rare hours of tenderness, the phantom reveals a truth often hidden beneath the mythology built around her. Even the most elusive predator carries a life shaped by vulnerability as much as power. Even a creature born from darkness must fight to protect the fragile sparks that depend on it. Part 6. The final conflict. The greatest test. Dawn approaches slowly over Kabini. Though sunlight does not penetrate this forest so much as negotiate with it. The change in the air is subtle, a thinning of the night, a softening of shadows, but to the phantom, it is a shift that carries danger. Daylight steals her greatest weapon. In darkness, she is a ghost. In daylight, she becomes a silhouette. She descends from the ironwood just before the first rays reach the eastern canopy. Her cubs wait in a sheltered hollow a short walk away, hidden beneath woven roots and thick layers of dry leaves. The phantom moves toward them with practiced caution, pausing often to test the air, to examine each sound for irregularities. The forest at dawn is vulnerable. Night hunters retreat, day hunters rise, and in between those worlds is a short, volatile window where mistakes are punished without mercy. She is 2 strides from the hollow when the forest shifts again. A soft crunch of leaves. One, then another. Too heavy for monkeys, too deliberate for deer, too slow for a cat. The phantom freezes, body low, tail still. Her ears angle backward, catching the faint chorus of panting just beyond the nearest bamboo stand. A scent follows, sharp, oily, unmistakable. Dholes. 10, maybe 12 of them. A hunting pack, known for precision and relentless drive. Unlike hyenas, they hunt silently. Unlike leopards, they hunt as one. A coordinated attack from dholes can bring down prey many times their size. Against a leopard with cubs, they are a nightmare. The pack moves like liquid fire through the bamboo, spreading wide, searching for weakness. They do not yet know where she is, but they sense proximity. A kill, a den, something that draws them. The phantom steps backward, one deliberate motion at a time, until her body blends again with the shadows beneath a fallen log. Her heartbeat remains steady, but her mind races through calculations. If she runs, they will follow. If she fights, they may overwhelm her. If they find the cubs, the forest will not be able to conceal the sound that follows. The first dhole emerges into view, a rust-colored figure with narrow shoulders and alert eyes. It pauses, nostrils quivering. Behind it, 5 more slip through the vegetation. Their formation is no accident. They are hunting not blindly but with evolving certainty. A low, chattering sound passes between them. A signal, not a call. They know something is here. The phantom must choose. She steps from the shadows, not with aggression but with calculated presence. Her body rises slowly, muscles pronounced beneath the dark coat, shoulders angled forward in challenge. The dholes halt immediately. They have expected prey, not a predator willing to stand in their path. Her tail lashes once. Her growl emerges in a low, resonant rhythm that vibrates through the earth. It is not a threat. It is a warning. 3 dholes attempt to circle. She cuts them off with a sudden lunge that sends one scrambling backward. Then, with terrifying clarity, the pack understands what stands before them. A mother with something to protect. The forest erupts into a frenzy of motion. The phantom moves with speed no daylight disadvantage can suppress. She strikes with ruthless efficiency, targeting the closest dhole with a swipe powerful enough to send it tumbling into the dust. The others surge forward, but she does not retreat. Her aggression is explosive, calculated. and entirely directed at creating an opening between the pack and the hidden hollow. She drives them backward, each strike precise. Her roars are sharp bursts of force, echoing through the bamboo, splitting the nervous chatter of the pack. The dholes regroup, reassessing, their initial confidence fractured. Facing a lone leopard is one thing. Facing a leopard fighting for her young is an entirely different calculus. Finally, the pack breaks. One turns, then another. Within moments, the entire group retreats into the forest's deeper corridors, leaving behind only trampled leaves and fading echoes. Victory here is not triumph, it is survival, purchased through fury and precision. When silence returns, the phantom stands alone, sides heaving, coat streaked with dust. She does not linger. She moves immediately toward the hollow, lowering her head to nudge the cubs, checking for breath, warmth, life. Both stir. Both are safe. The greatest test of the night is over. But dawn has fully arrived now, spilling pale gold through the canopy. In this light, she is no longer a phantom. She is a target. And she must vanish again before the day claims too much of her strength. Part 7. Closing Reflection. The Cycle of Shadow and Survival. When the last of the dholes disappears into the deep folds of the forest, Kabini exhales. The tension that held the canopy taut begins to loosen, replaced by the slow, rising hum of daytime life. Sunlight filters through the branches in thin, wavering lines, touching the forest floor with a warmth that feels almost foreign after the long, suffocating hours of night. The phantom guides her cubs from the hollow, nudging them gently toward a safer refuge deeper within the forest. Each movement is careful, intentional. She has endured the relentless hunger of a pack, pushed back against overwhelming odds, and shielded her young from the jaws of death. But the forest does not reward victory with rest. It offers only the chance to continue moving. Through shafts of pale gold, her dark coat no longer conceals her. What made her invincible at night turns her vulnerable now. Every open space becomes a risk. Every patch of sunlight becomes a spotlight revealing a hunter who was never meant to be seen. She slips through the undergrowth, melting into pockets of shade, navigating the invisible pathway she has carved through years of solitary travel. Her cubs follow shakily, still learning the choreography of survival. They do not yet understand how close danger came. They see only their mother unbroken, unstoppable, a silhouette that bends the forest's will around her. By midday, she settles them into a new den, a tangle of roots beneath a fallen teak tree, draped with ferns that mask sight and scent. Here, she will rest. Briefly, light sleep only. A predator who survives by being invisible cannot surrender fully to dreams. As she lowers her body beside the cubs, the forest resumes its ancient rhythm. Birds call from the canopy. Insects spark their tiny symphonies. The wind stirs the leaves in erratic, whispering pattern. Life continues because she has forced it to. For countless generations, black leopards like her have moved through forests across Asia and Africa, their existence a thread woven quietly through the fabric of the wild. They are seen rarely, understood even less, and yet they shape the ecosystems in which they live with the precision of ghosts riding in the dark. Their presence reminds the forest that not all power announces itself. Some power thrives in silence. The local tribes speak of her kind with reverence, calling them the walking shadows beings that belong not to the world of men but to the night itself. To them, a glimpse of such a creature is not chance but omen, a reminder that the forest still holds secrets no eye can fully capture. As evening approaches once more, the phantom rises, the cubs stir, the light fades into a deepening blue, and Kabini prepares for its truest self, the realm where shadows tighten, where sound dissolves, where predators reclaim their dominion. Soon, she will hunt again. Soon, the night will become her armor. In the forest where no daylight endures, a single shadow continues her quiet war against a world that is always hunting back. Her legend is not carried by roars or violence. It is carried by the silence she inhabits, the darkness she commands, and the life she protects against all odds. This is the Night Phantom story, one thread in the eternal tapestry of survival, written in the language of instinct, shadow, and unending resilience.